So welcome friends, and today what we are going to do, we are going to create a very simple applications that will show you how to create a registration form. And in this example, what we were going to build, we are going to build this type of registration form where we will use some edit text. Okay, and you can see out here edit text for the username, first name, last name, email and password, and we will try to click on the button register. So everything goes fine, you will have your page registered. I'm not using any kind of backend, but in the upcoming session I will use the different kind of database so that you can store the data in a database. The point to be noted down here, this is a very basic and simple application. Here you will learn about how to create this kind of screen. That means how you can create this kind of layout and how you can create an activity. So my friend, be with me and let's start, and I will try to cover all the basics of the Android here. So for this, what we can do here, first we need to create a file new, and you can go to new project, and in this new project I'm selecting no activities because I'm going to create everything from the basic. So here I will create a next, and I will give this application name, let's say registration, and this will be your package name. Let it be default everything and click on finish. So it will take a little bit of time. What I will do, I will just close this one. That means we can close this project. Okay, we didn't need this one. Okay. Okay, don't worry, we can use here like this. So here, as you can see, now you are going to have an app here in Java. See, no activity available here, and in the resource. So what in the resource means, this is something used for the view. All right, in the drawable, you know that we will put our images. This is for icon, this is for the values and all. We will talk about all this folder later on. But first, as you can see, when you open the Android manifest.xml file, here you will find no activity available because this will act like a controller. So here inside the application, there is no activity has been available. So what we can do out here, first we will create an activity. When we create an activity, that means that activity is basically a collection of the Java and the layout. Okay, so no layout, that means no XML layout has been presented over here. So what we can do, I can click on here and right click new, and here I will move to this here activity, and inside the activity I will select here an empty activity. So once we create an empty activity, you will have a layout folder available here with that XML layout. So here what we can do, I can use here name login activity like this, and this will be the launcher activity. That means when the application run, this will run first. So finish it. So once you finish it, my friends, what you will get here a Java class and its corresponding view. That is, it is in a format of a layout. You can check it out here. This is the layout. Now the point to be noted out here, that see here automatically the layout folder has been created. So this will act like a view. That means whenever we run our applications, something should be presented to the user. So here the view will be presented with some components. You can see in the palette, you will see a lot of widgets are available here. These are the views. For example, to represent the text for the input, and to show, you will have a text view, edit text. Lot of different types of edit text are available out here. And here in the login activity, if you notice that this is a class login activity, it extend a class name app compact activity. So this means this is not a normal class. This class represents an activity. And inside here, there is a one method, that name is onCreate, one of the lifecycle method of an activity. So this is going to be called first. And here we are calling a method that is available inside the app compact activity. We are just calling it. Okay, it is not defined. We are calling it. So here you can see it says r.layout.activity_login. That means R means resource.layout.activity_login. But R is basically a class. I will talk about it later. But for the sake of convenience, you can just remember till now that R means resource.layout.activity. So this is going to represent as an output and nothing is available here, so it will show you the blank screen. See, now what we can do, we can create a login page. That means, sorry, the registration page. So for this, what we required a text that should have a input. So what I can do first, I can split it. So you can see it is basically a constraint layout. I didn't want to show anything as a constraint because as a beginner, you will find something confusing and difficult. I'm going to use a very simple layout here. That layout name is the linear layout, like this one. Okay, so don't confuse. The layout is basically you can take it as a parent view, and inside this layout we can have the child views. That means you can have a buttons, you can have a radio buttons, you can have another type of layout. So I will cover this in the lecture part. Okay, so linear layout, it will come with two orientation. By default is the horizontal. So you can type here an attribute orientation vertical. So what happens whenever you press any component, it will automatically come the row by row, not in a column format. So first thing come first here, I need to have a plain text. I will come here and make a drag and drop. Automatically it will come at the top, and we will extend the width. So first one is the first name. Okay. Second one is I will drop it down here. You can see, extend it, the last name. Third one, I will take here the email, like this, drop it down here. So this will be your email, expand it, and then I will use a password. So I drop it down here. This will be your password, expand it. And the last but not the least, we need a button. So I will go here in a button, make a drag and drop. So this will be my button. Okay, so here expand it. Now you can edit it. For example, here, this is the ID that you can give, because you can access this edit text here by using the ID of this component. Okay, and by using this class. So what you can do here, I will change this so that I can remember it. So I will use it, edit text, let's say name. Okay, and I will change this particular one to the hint so that user able to know. So this is the attribute you can use, hint. The same thing you can do with the second one, that is the edit text. Here the last or the last name, and I will give this as a hint. Okay, and this hint will be, say, the last name, and this will be the first name. You can see the changes has been coming out here. Now this is the email address, so I will just make it a little bit more shorten, email address. Here we will give once again the hint, let's say email, and this is going to be the password. So here I will just change this ID. Okay, so hint will be password, and now here you can see the button. So I will use here register. Okay, you can also give the margin, so that because you can see it is just going out of this particular directions of this from the width of this particular emulator or a device. So you can use here a margin at the top, let's say 10 dp. You can see now it is a little bit like this. And also I will make it as a gravity, means where you want to represent gravity. I will use the center. So you can see it will now come at the center. It will look like this. You can also change the background of the layout by using an attribute name background, and select any of the background. And what you can do out here, click on it, and you can select the color, custom color. I will select here, let's say, okay, any color, whatever you want to select, something like whatever you want to select. I will select this one. Okay, so this is something I have been selected over here. Okay, so this is a pretty simple one, but it will work, not an issue. So this is my page. Now I want to bind all this component: edit text name, edit text last, edit text email address, password, and this button. Okay, I will change the ID, let's say button register. How we can do this? As we know, in the login activity, you can see in manifest, this has been added already. Okay, it's a launcher activity. Okay, we will talk about this in theory later on, but this is a practical session. So here what you can do, you can use this component. First I will use this for edit text. So component name is edit text. I will copy it. If I paste it here, see, it will ask you to import this package. See here, I will click on it. You can press Alt Enter. So you can import the class C edit text, and we are having 4 edit text. That is the edit. I will use the name. Second one is the edit last name. Third one is the edit, let's say email. Fourth one is the edit, let's say password, right? And we have a button, so you can directly type button. See, this is the second one. Here you can see the button. Its ID is registered. So I will give it a button, a object reference variable. Let's say btn reg register. And now I will create an object. Edit name, the first one, edit name. So you can use the method name find view by ID, very common method, r.id. You can see edit text name, the first one. This is the edit text name. You can check it out here. Edit text name. And now the second one, here we can use the edit last name like this. Edit email. Most of the code in Android are pretty repeating. Okay. So once you have a practice on it, you can easily do it. And the last one is the edit password. And its ID is this one. So you can access this r.id. something, that the name of that particular ID of that component. Find view by ID, r.id. edit text password. Now the last one is the button. So btn reg, and once again find view by ID, capital r.id. button register. I will talk about what exactly the R class, but not now in this lecture. Now here we are going to talk about the listeners, because in a button what we can do, we can press, you can easily you can click on the button. Okay, so for this there is a very simple listener, btn reg dot c set on click listener like this. And here you can, when user click on this particular listener, what we need to perform, we need to perform some logic. But the logic on which class? On login activity. So this is activity. Okay, so here you can use this and press Alt Enter like this, or you can go out here and implement this listener. So this is the one of the method. Later on I will also explain how to perform the anonymous inner class as a listener. So when a user click on this particular button, it will call this method. So what we can do, we can perform logic here. So what we can do, we can retrieve the values and check whether all the fields are not empty and whether your email is perfectly written. So what you can do, first you can we will retrieve the value of edit name dot. So to retrieve a name, you can use get. To set the something, you can use set. So get text and set text. Okay, you can see here dot get text. It is returning editable, but we need to convert it into the string. So you can use toString here. And here you can see string name. Same thing you can do with the other string. Last means the last name. Edit last name dot get text dot toString. The same thing you can do with the email. So you can retrieve and store it in an email. Edit text email dot get text dot toString. Then string password. Edit password dot get text dot toString. And then we can check it out whether it is if the fields are not empty. So you can use here if my name is empty, if it is empty, or if last is empty, or if email is empty, or the password is empty. Okay, if any one of this empty, don't do registration, right? Don't do the registration. All right, now so I can display toast over here, something like this. to make a text. Here the first parameter is this, show the message. You can see the second hint is care sequence text. I will say registration failed here, and show the duration for some time. Very simple one. Now else. So here if the email is not correct, so what I am going to do, I am having a class that is util class. I will copy this one. Okay, you can just check it down. I will copy this because it's a regex pattern class. I will write it, but it will take time. So I will create a class name utils. So this will check the validity of the email like this, and it's user matcher. Okay, pattern like that. Okay, so we'll check it, and you can see in this method we are passing the email, so it will return true if it is correct, otherwise it will return false. So I will use else if my this util class static method, I will pass here the email. Okay, if it is not in a proper pattern, once again I will say registration failed, else last is success. So very simple application, you can try it out. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this to check whether our application is correct or not. So what I will do, it's my emulator. This is my emulator, and I will run it. Now the point to be noted here, what we have done in this application, let it be run. So you will have a activity with a corresponding view, that is the layout. You create some kind of layout by using the, you can see it is hanging. By using you can create by using some kind of designs, by using a lot of widgets or views available, and you can bind this by using the set content view method. And also because it is a launcher, how we can make a launcher activity in a manifest, we need to define an activity, although it will automatically done. All right, now you can perform your logic. You can create an object reference variable, initialize that component by using find view by id. For example, in this case, edit text name. So here you can see this is your id, that is the edit text last edit text name. Same thing with all. Okay, and then you can perform the listener. So when user click on this button, so what will happen, this logic will be going to perform. So this is where you can place the logic. So most of when you create an application, the pattern will be the same. So here you can see, if I try to click on a register directly, it says the registration failed because some fields are empty over here. Now if I type my name and let's say the last name, and let's say if I'm going to type the wrong email ID, like this, and the password like this, and if I try to register, it says registration failed because this is not correct. So what I can do, I can use a proper format @ like this gmail.com, and now when I done this, I think it will say the registration success. So this is how you can create a simple activity. And what I want to say, you can try this one, and later on we will talk about how to perform navigation, and we will have some theoretical session where you will be able to understand all this component and how all this are working. Thanks. And one more, my request, my friend, please do subscribe this channel, and please like this video, and comment me for suggestions. Thanks for watching it.